Most babies have 46 chromosomes at the time of conception, but in some cases a baby can have an extra chromosome, giving it 47. This condition is called Down syndrome and affects 1 in 800 newborn babies. It delays the child's physical and mental development. Lily Bird of Ramari South is affected by this. She is currently 4 years old and is living with her mum, Helen McMillan.
All the way through, from when I basically was pregnant up to now, Lily's had a lot of support through the health system and through the education system. She, from when she was very small, she had a neurodevelopmental therapist who came in and worked with her, you know, teaching her things like how to crawl, how to sit up, and teaching us different skills. She's had lots of help. You know, she has an audiologist, a cardiologist, she has ear, nose and throat appointments, and she has had a speech therapist as well. The kindy where Lily goes it's actually a daycare centre. For some time we've had Ange coming in, who is she's her education support worker. And she's great. She comes in for about an hour and a half, 3 days a week, and she spends time one-on-one with Lily and does signing and just, you know, she does a lot of work through play. You know, she teaches her, you know, about washing your hands or, yeah, and so I know that Lily has really benefited from having her and that, you know, it's been a really good thing.
The wheels on the bus go round and round. I've worked for Lily for about 2 years, and I've worked, you know, in special education since 2005. When I first started working with Lily, she didn't really move much. She didn't talk. She kind of crawled and was a bit like unsteady when she was standing, so her gross motor skills have certainly improved. She's walking and running and jumping and climbing and all that stuff.
In 2010, Lily will be moving into primary school education. For children with Down syndrome in Kapiti, there are two options: mainstreaming or a special needs unit based at Ramari Beach School.
Lily turns 5 at the end of, towards the end of November, so we have to make the choice where she goes to school. You know, we can send her to a mainstream school. We're also lucky in Paraparaumu to have a special needs unit, which is based in the grounds of Ramari Beach School. I mean, I know that a lot of people prefer to send their kids to a mainstream, but I think that especially for Lily, because she has hearing and speech difficulties, that she will benefit more from being in a special needs unit.
Carmen Slater of Paikakiriki made the decision to send her son Gabriel to a mainstream primary school, and she is happy with the outcome.
Well, for Jerry and I, there was no, he was going to be mainstreamed. That was just our decision, because I think that the benefits of mainstreaming a child like Gabriel has been so good, and I see if we had put him in a unit, I don't think socially he would have improved or done so well, and I also think that educationally as well, I don't think he'd be where he was at.
I just I know that I think in our schools we have big classes and the teachers aren't trained to take care of special needs children. If the classes were smaller, if the teachers were better trained, if there was more support, I think it would be great. But at the moment, I don't think it's the most ideal thing for her.
I mean, it is, school can be, you have your good and your bad days, and you're always fighting for hours at school, for teacher aid hours, which it can put a downer on it, but mostly I think if you just have a really positive outlook on the education system and work with it, not kind of work against it, it can go really well.
My own opinion is that the kids in this class get by far the better deal, because they get Heather, the speech therapist, they get a music therapist, they get a physiotherapist, they get an occupational therapist. They have 2 teachers, sometimes 3 teachers. and 6 staff working with them. So it's a huge difference between that and being the sole child in a mainstream class stuck at the back. You know, everyone else doing maths, you're doing puzzles. Everyone else is doing so-and-so, you're doing such and such. You're always with your aide. And the aide acts, my way of thinking is that the aide actually stops the children interacting with, in some cases it'll help, but as the kids get older it becomes a deterrent to have the teacher's aide. You really want the kids to be in the mainstream on their own if they can. And our class provides that really. There's a good opportunity for the kids to be out when they can and being in when they can't. If it's too hard for them, then they've got a place to come, whereas the mainstream child's in there. It's either in there or on its own in a class in a corner with the teacher's aide. So we feel that this is a better balance. They've got the best of both worlds. They've got the special school, because that's what we are, but they've also got the Raumini Beach School. They get 2. Whereas other children only get 1. They get the inclusion, that's it. For some parents, though, that's all they want. You know, they wouldn't dream of putting their children in a class like this.
And I just think that it's really important that he is in our community that we live in, and that everyone gets to know him and see him for who he is. And so I just think by mainstreaming Gabriel, that this is how we need to do it.
I went to a conference about Down syndrome, and the women there had done a lot of research on Down syndrome, and the findings of that was that children with Down syndrome perform better in a mainstream situation. And I gave that a lot of thought, but I thought that because Lily has, she has other difficulties, like her speech hasn't developed particularly well, and her hearing does seem to be quite poor. I mean, she also has quite poor vision. So I'm sort of feel that going to a special needs unit would be the best thing for her.